Okay, I have a new effect to share with you today. It involves 16 cards. And as you can see, I have a good selection of card values, suits, and colors. Now we're going to be mixing these according to your request. So by the time you've made all of your random choices, no one could know anything about this packet. And certainly no one could have anticipated the choices that you will make. Okay, so let's go ahead and gather these. Now, since we both saw the cards, why don't we go ahead and just begin to randomize them a bit with input from you. How would you like these stacked, the piles, left on right? Okay, maybe we'll do another one of those. A note to you as the performer of this, you can deal out into two piles in this fashion with random stacking decided by the spectator as many times as the spectator likes. You truly can. We can deal into four piles in this fashion, like this, as many times as the spectator would like. Randomly stacked, top row on bottom or bottom on top. Left on right or right on left. Okay, very good. And if you're interested, we can even do something called the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So this is where you begin dealing the cards into piles until the spectator says stop. And then you stop dealing. Stop there. Stop there. Okay. Stop there. Okay, very good. So it's called first shall be last and the last shall be first because you just stack in opposite order. Okay, that's all that means. Okay, now from here we're going to get four sets of 4 cards each. Now there's a number of ways that we can do that and you can choose. Let me just show you what your choices are before we do it. One way would just be to deal out into 4 piles like this, okay, until, you know, all the cards are down. Another way would be to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, you know, that way. Another way is to just push off 4 cards at a time like this. There's 4 sets of 4. And maybe the final way is the craziest way. I call it the quad down under distributive. Okay, so how this works is you go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. You just repeat that until all of the cards have been set down. Okay, so which of those 4 would you like? You want the craziest one of all? Okay, that's fine. The last one. Okay. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you move 4 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now at this point, we're almost done. I want you to randomly combine these 4 piles into just 2 piles. Okay, so like this one here, what would you like that combined with? Choosing from the remaining 3 here. The second one, so the middle one here. Okay, that's fine. And then these 2 would be combined together like that. Very good. Okay, so just think about all of the choices that you made along the way. Nobody could have anticipated those. Consequently, nobody could have anticipated the organization of these final piles of cards, given the random choices that you individually made. But nonetheless, I have a written prediction off to the side here. So let's just take a look at that quickly here. So what do I think happened, despite all of that? Each pile of 8 cards will have the same number of flat top card values as rounded top card values. What in the world is that talking about? Flat top versus rounded. Okay, well, maybe I'll set this one aside here. So flat top. Okay, let's try to read this. What does that mean, to flat top? Oh, okay. Yeah, like the 8 there, it's kind of a rounded top. What about this one here? Oh, that's flat. Big flat. You could set a plate on top of that and have your dinner there. What about this one? Oh, that's flat top, right? Oh, another rounded. I guess that's flat. Kind of small flat, but it's certainly not rounded. That's rounded. That's rounded. That's certainly flat top. Yes, indeed. And it's interesting to see that it in no way correlated with the card values. Okay, so that's success. Well, what are the chances that the second pile has that same characteristic? Okay, flat top, rounded, okay. Oh, rounded again, flat again, rounded again, flat again. I think that's flat. And rounded again. Yes, indeed. Check that out. We absolutely nailed our prediction. How is that even possible? Okay, so let's talk about how that is possible. So let's go ahead and quickly step through this. It's not too difficult, actually. So what I did is I had 8 rounded top cards together. Let's go ahead and just put them, those are flat. I had them separated and then I combined them. Okay, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flat top. And then maybe we'll mix the colors a little bit. Rounded top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have rounded top, flat top. Okay, you can stack them in either order. Now this is preparation only. It just takes a second, okay? So you randomly stack those 2 different kinds of cards, rounded or flat top. Now all you do is you push off pairs of cards, so 2 cards at a time, into a triangle configuration, clockwise, so just clockwise. And then you pick up the first pile that you dealt out and then stack in the opposite orientation, counterclockwise. And then you just follow that up with a mange over, under, over, under, over, under. Now you could even do a mange under, over, under, over. That works just fine. And now you have something called a quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16 relative to rounded and flat top cards. So I will add a link in the description below to not only quasi-Bessey sequences, but to Bessey sequences in general. So you can kind of learn about those. But this has a very special structure that's virtually indestructible relative to most of the systematic mixing procedures that we use today. Now, if this were the particular ending packet here, I would, in fact, I think I had to adjust mine as well. So for example, that's too weird, right? So why don't we'll take a flat top here, replace it with a flat top there, like that. So you may have to do just a little bit of adjustment, just visually, to make it look less kind of questionable. It might be nice to have the 2s switch. They're both rounded top. Okay, I'm just looking at color. You can look at value as well and suits. But certainly color, have that kind of, randomly arranged the best you can. Here I have a group of 3 red, which is fine, 2 black, and then a red, black, and so forth. So I think if you look at that, the only thing that might be a little bothersome, I suppose, would be the fact that we have all of the face cards together over there. And if you don't like this situation, you can replace one of those with another flat top. Okay, so as long as we move that queen over, it might look a little bit better. Okay, so I think most people looking at that, well, they're not going to see the structure you have in mind, because there's no way they're going to think, oh, it's rounded tops and flat tops that he's focused on here. Okay, but this has the right structure. So what that means then is any of the systematic mixing procedures that I've shown on my channel, and there's hundreds of them, you can do as many of those as you like. Won't hurt it. Do it into 4 piles. You can even deal into 8 if you like. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. This first shall be last, last shall be first. It's just a packet reversal is all it is, and then you stack in opposite order. So you can include that or not. So the initial dealing into 2 piles, 4 piles, and then the one I just did, those are all optional. Those are meant to, as convincers to mix the cards, but they actually don't hurt the organization. Okay, and then I gave you 4 options to choose from to deal out this packet of 16 cards into 4 piles of 4. And any of those could be used. That's the key. Now you went with the quad down under distributive, the weirdest one, the last one. But you know, you can just go with a dealing out into 4 if that's what the spectator wants. Or if you choose to just do this and not offer them what I offered you, that's fine. So just use any one of those 4. There's others as well, but any one of those 4. Now the property these will have, and it's the reason it works, and it comes from the fact that it was a quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16, is each of these sets of 4 already have an equal number of rounded top and flat top cards. So here we go. Rounded, flat, flat, rounded, flat, rounded top, and then rounded, flat top. Okay, so it doesn't matter which of the 2 piles they combine. So maybe they want this one and this one combined, and then the outer ones combined. It won't matter. In each packet, you'll have 4 rounded top cards and 4 flat top cards. Okay, and so your prediction is guaranteed to be correct. Anyway, that's the secret. If you can kind of get a sense of how versatile all of this is, you could focus on so many different characteristics. You could focus on suits. You could focus on even values versus odd values. Of course, you can focus on red cards versus black cards. You could focus on number cards versus face cards, whatever you would like to do. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.